Hi, new idea today. I do a lot of little things around here that don't really make for good videos, so I don't make videos about them, but I'm thinking maybe I'll do just short little clips of whatever I'm doing and put them up for patrons, and then maybe in the future, after they've been up a while, make them public for other people, or make them unlisted or something, I don't know. Sound good? I'm probably also going to edit these a lot less, so yeah, deal with that, I suppose. So my dad's thinking of getting a new drill press, and he gave me, or lent me, his old one. Here it is, very small, very light duty. It's Montgomery Ward, which means it's older than I am by many years. He used to work on Montgomery Ward, and he got this, I think he probably got it refurbished, he said. So it looks like we got a speed control. It does work. I'll plug it in. Plug it in the chuck here. Oops, the key has to be pushed in the side for it to come on. It's like a safety thing, so you don't turn it on with the chuck. Put the key in there. It does run. Doesn't sound great, but it works. You know, you go up and down. This mechanism feels kind of cruddy. This is an adjustment, you know, to move the whole thing up and down, and from whatever point, then you can move it up and down. But it's just kind of dirty, so I'm going to take it apart and see what's inside, and maybe clean it oil, see if we can make it work a little better. Looks like it's Phillips, all Phillips screws. Let's see, screwdriver, where did that go? Here we go. Need an extension. But anyways, he always said Montgomery Ward stuff was kind of cheap. But he worked there for like many years, 12 years I think. And he usually got some pretty great deals on refurbished stuff. You know, if you can appreciate anything, it's a good deal. Okay, what do we got? We got screws falling. Ooh, look at all this gross schmoo. Gear schmoo. There we go, screws in there. This is only like 2 to 2.5, 3 amps. So let's see what I'm looking at. We got a motor. Motor is turning steel gears, actual steel gears here, which is nice. I think a 3/8 chuck. The lever is this steel thing, which is kind of rusty. There's a spring to move it back up. But overall, you know, not bad. Here's where the shaft goes through, and that looks like cast aluminum. Probably aluminum. So aluminum, steel, spring steel, electric motor, steel gears, chuck. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Speed control. There are a few ways you can do speed control. I just don't happen to know exactly what this hidden mystery switch does. And standard on off with the thingy. Okay, simple. It's just speed control, switch, motor spins, turns gears. In doing so, makes drill go. This mechanism is rusty. This shaft's kind of rough with some crud. This is aluminum, so clearly that's not rusty. Depth adjustment looks like it's galvanized, and that's doing okay. Very tiny amount of play in these bushings. That's probably fine. I mean, it probably wasn't great to begin with because this isn't exactly a high-end tool. But we got a lot of this grease, which I'm sure would do a lot better if it was actually on the gears still. This had a whole, goodbye screws that I so carefully put back in. This had a whole bunch of this grease here. I'll just squidgy it back in there. Cover them gears. Alright, so those are probably about as thickly greased as they can be. Ew. I think I just want to clean up this mechanism here. Put some grease maybe into some of these areas. Clean up the rust and, you know, kind of ungrime it, make it go a little smoother. The chuck is fine. Don't know if this is a good idea, but it's lithium grease. Oh, this whole thing comes out too. Nice. It sort of comes out. Now I generally don't do tool teardowns in large part because I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm looking at. But, you know, it never hurts, I think, to take something apart and get the rust out of it at the very least. And then just put it all back together exactly the way I found it. Covered with grease. I don't know if this is the right kind of grease or if I should even be using lithium grease on this, but I figure some grease is better than 30-year-old non-existent grease. At least that's my theory. Yeah, it looks like the sides of this are bent up onto this shaft. So I won't be able to get it out without some vigorous bending. So I don't really feel like doing that. I'm just gonna lube it up. Lube up that gear good, lube up the teeth good. Alright, so for this part, it's kind of rough. I actually had this off, so I'm gonna try to clean that up a bit. This is 600 grit. See, that's getting shiny. It's getting some of the rust color out of there. Rust off the surface. Come to think of it, I should have just been using this stuff. Oops. This oil works pretty good for all sorts of things. I'm going to get some of this on a rag and wipe this down with it to hopefully make that mechanism move a little freer. Okay. And now, reassembly, trying to remember how it went together. Always the least fun part, and the most stressful part of any rebuild. There's nothing worse than getting it all apart, doing what you need to do, and realizing, oh, how does this go back together? I wasn't paying attention. Of course, this is pretty simple, and yet I still screwed it up. So something that I guess, character trait that I inherited from my dad is using a lot of these kind of cheaper, older tools, or anything really, until well beyond their supposed life. Like, a decent old drill press should work forever. But this was a cheapo one from Montgomery Ward's that he probably bought refurbished. And here I am, putting it back together, even though, you know, it's kind of old. Although I believe, like, you know, there's a lot of people are just never happy unless they have a new something. And I think if you're a person who wants a new something just because your old one is old, you deserve a new something with all of its new cheapness and poor build quality and short life. You deserve that. You can't appreciate something that's good and it works just because it's old and you'd rather have a new piece of garbage. Then get rid of your old one. Sell it on Craigslist. Give it to someone who does appreciate older stuff that works better. Yeah, that's smoother already. Not perfect, but who cares? Better than it was. And check this out. Using this, I can adjust the depth. So I can make it like this,